This is a big step up for me, and hello and welcome everyone to the stream, the first ever stream for the Tier 2 Pacific Series Championship in Race Spec Esports. Oh my goodness me, we have a full grid here tonight as well. This is going to be awesome. It's already, we have people joining, good to see. And 18 minutes of short qualifying here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, circuit 4.36 kilometers long, 14 corners. There are several hot spots on the circuit as well. We've got turn 1 and turn 2 complex, where we're going to see a lot of carnage here tonight. We've got turn 8 after a DRS zone. We've got turn 10 to hairpin. There's plenty of carnage that happens there. Get all this stuff up. And of course, the most infamous part of the circuit, the wall of Champion Chicane, is going to be one hell of a race as we now begin the 18 minutes of short qualifying. Who is the first driver out on circuit? A full grid. Unbelievable. And it's Aussie in the Toro Rosso, first driver out on circuit. So, me being new here, I recognise several names. Breno, I recognise, he's an incredibly talented driver, has got absolutely superb racecraft. Smokegrass, I recognise. Lunacy, Harass, Sidepod, Reedy, I recognise. El Tonki, I recognise. Golden Gloves and Blocky Rex, but everyone else. Oh, and Honest Crook as well. And of course, the legend himself, James Cruz. All of these fellas I recognise, but everyone else, completely new, completely fresh. Let's see what these fellas can do. I know what some of them can. Just have to wait and see. As Mercedes is getting awfully close to the back of Aussie, but Aussie will give us the privilege of giving us our first ever flying lap for the Tier 2 series, Tier 2 Pacific series in Race Spec Esports here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Very well through 1 and 2 into turns 3 and 4. Upset nicely, but invalidates. Oh dear, we have to go on to someone else. It's Mercedes in behind. It isn't Harass. It must be Blocky Rex then. But he's invalidated as well. I mentioned several hot spots on the circuit. There's another thing about this circuit that's quite notorious, and that is warnings. You can gather them so easily. There's so many places on this racetrack. And another one, Toto, a man that I don't recognise either. He's invalidated as well through turn 4. These very angry side pods on a flying lap. Currently goes purple through sector 1, as you'd expect. And into sector 2, DRS wide open, coming to the run to turn 8. Very nice from side pod, but oh, I thought he cut a bit too much there, but he didn't. Very lucky from side pod. And that's Lunacy going well wide. Just trying to make sure he gives plenty of space to the drivers on a flying lap. Now coming on to the massive straightaway leading into the wall of Champion Chicane. See what Sideboard can do. Very nicely. Goes through there as a Renault. Yes, a Renault into the wall as Sidepod goes faster. So 1 minute 10.034 and on the mediums as well. Oh my goodness! That was awfully close to an accident. Right there. Who's that? It must be Candy Cane. Oh my goodness me, that was awfully close between him and Golden Gloves. As tall cogwheel on the hard compound tyre, a 1 minute 13.4. I don't think you need to be running too long on the hards, as James has a small moment out of chicane. Oh no, sorry, he's just letting drivers pass. As Blocky Rex will come across the line as well. A 1 minute 11.4. That's a far more respectable time on the hards. But again, you don't need to be running really on the hards. It's a two-stop circuit. It's very much a two-stop circuit. Big Donga in the Ferrari. 1 minute 10.554. Half a second behind his teammate. Only looking quite good for Mercedes as Lunacy goes second fastest. A 1 minute 10.250. Still some distance between them and Sidepod. Very good first lap. Ken completes his first lap as Breno goes to the top of the table. A 1 minute 9.978. The first driver in the nines. But it just shows you how good that lap was from Sidepod to be less than a tenth behind Breno on the soft tyre. Toto on and out lap. See who else is on a flyer. Got Artie and Aussie's coming in. So Artie's the only driver on a flyer. Coming to the end of sector 1. Into the turn 6 and 7 chicane. DRS wide open. 4 people here at the stream. Good to see. Good to see T1 isn't hogging all the action. Oh, I love you too, Sidepod. Good to see. See what Artie can do when the McLaren comes. A collision with Reedy. Harass gets a 5. What on earth happened between those two? Must have done it through the wall of champions. He was looking good throughout the rest of the lap. Very unfortunate for him. Reedy now on an out lap. Misty Griffin. That's a great name. A new face. See what the Renault can do. Coming on to the back straightaway, DRS wide open into turn 8 and 9. It's a place where you can abuse the curbs a little bit. Section is lagging a little bit, sorted itself out. A bit more, sort itself out. Coming around the turn 10 hairpin. I see a bit of chaos in that hairpin. Nice slow corner. Good overtaking zone, but you want to try and not overtake because you've got this long DRS zone in front of you that you can really take advantage of. Coming into the wall of champion chicane. A nice run through there. We've come across the line. That's a 9.8, goes to the top of the table. Beating Breno by almost a tenth and a half. Very nice time from him. I imagine he's on an in-lap. I think Cogwheel might be just doing a few laps on the hard, sort of doing a race practice. Only done 3 laps on them at the moment. Reedy's invalidated. Toto 22 and a half. The nice shot. Oh, he's missed the apex though. They would have spoiled his run ever so slightly coming onto the straight. Well, they lost maybe a tenth, maybe 2/10 of a second. Then he comes into the wall of champions. Goes through it quite. Oh, he gets through it. I wouldn't say nicely, but he gets through it. Comes across the line, a 1 minute 10.5. P6 as Candy rather. So close to Casey Kane. Oh. Candy Kane out of the session. Crashed at the wall of champions. Right on board with Smokegrass, I think, will be the closest. Oh my goodness me. I don't think that's going to be the only time we'll see that tonight. A car destroyed at the wall of champions. further back. Reedy, he hasn't yet invalidated his time. With only 8 minutes left in the session, these guys who haven't set a time really need to get a move on. As Big Donga goes fastest, a 1 minute 9.3, that's a mega lap. Oh, and Reedy's invalidated through the wall of champion chicane. Aussie's invalidated as well. So at the moment, 6 drivers have not set a lap time. Honest Cork and Artie are now on out laps. See what they can do. Yeah, it's a very much a soft medium circuit. There's no need to run on the hards. Unless, of course, you get into an accident earlier on in the race and you want to try and make it to the end. I'm just looking at the sky at the moment. It's very overcast. Oh! As I say that, it starts raining. Okay. So, has Golden Glove just snatched pole? It is starting to rain. Oh my goodness me. Golden Glove's currently the fastest. Oh, okay, Cypod. That's what the message was on the screen, mate. Sorry I didn't catch that, but yeah. So has Golden Gloves just pulled it off? Has he got pole? Oh, he puts it into the wall. That's what cold tyres do. And that's what cold tyres do to you. Oh my goodness. Lunacy's invalidated. Breno's invalidated. Oh, I am so going to struggle pronouncing your name. Acriel? I might just have to call you AC just from now on, just so then I don't butcher your name. I'll learn it properly after the race. He hasn't invalidated, but he's well off the pace. Blocky, he's overshot it at the hairpin. Oh, these. Oh, and DRS is disabled. That's it. That's qualifying done. Those are pretty much all the positions. Oh, it's El Tonki. Spins at turn 2. Oh, and that's a Toro Rosso. He spun as well. It's Aussie. Red Bull and Toro Rosso just copying each other. Aussie just doing a few donuts. Bit of showmanship. But all that these guys need to do is set a lap time as quick as possible. As the drivers are now starting to retire from the session. Or Artie, is that going to be invalidation? Yes, it is. Aussie, yeah, you're invalidated, of course, and El Tonki, he's going to have a horrible lap. But if he just gets the time in, at this stage he's guaranteed, he is a guaranteed 15th place. Breno retires from the session. 3 drivers, 4 drivers actually retired in the session as Candy Cane. Oh! That's not honest, Crook. That's Toto on an outlap. What an interesting qualifying session. I'm quite surprised that some of these guys left it so late. Or was it because they just kept on invalidating? They just couldn't get the time in. Well, Tonki, no, he's coming in. Okay, I don't know how the game is going to work this out. We've got 5 drivers who haven't set a lap time. They're going to have to chuck it onto intermediates and see what they can do. It is a 5-way fight for 15th place. But it seems all the positions are 100% sold. So, just to make sure, what were they fitted in their best tyre rather? Oh. So, because the top 10 drivers start on the tyres they qualified on, Golden Gloves, Big Donga, Lunacy, Griffin, Breno, Smokegrass, they are all going to start on the softs. Top 6 are going to start on the softs. Very angry side pod and harass on the mediums. Toto. And AC, I am not going to try and pronounce that name. I am going to butcher the I'm going to butcher the daylights out of that name until I learn it properly. Let's see what these fellas can do. Is it going to be wet weather in the race? I wonder. Let's see what Honest Cook can do. In intermediate conditions. Oh my word, that's awfully wide through turn 1 and invalidates in the process. Okay. Game not giving any second chances. El Tonki on a set of softs? Oh, sorry. They have it on best, I wasn't thinking. Yeah, I was going to say, you wouldn't be running in these conditions on soft compound tyres. Dry race, okay. Oh, it's just a mega bummer for some of these drivers, and James Cruz is coming out for whatever reason. He's guaranteed 14th place at this stage. And he has a broken front wing to go along with it. And he puts the car into the wall. It doesn't break it. No, that won't break it, son. Alright. Honest Crook has invalidated again. So has Artie. These fellas just can't get a lap together. Let's see what El Tonki can do. Going through turns 3 and 4. That's it nicely. Oh! Was there any damage from that? Did he lose an end plate? No, he hasn't. James Cruz has retired from the session. Crashed his car at the hairpin. Through turns 8 and 9. Very nicely done. Have not yet invalidated. Yellow flags. Oh, but brakes very late for the turn. Turn 10. We would have lost our whole chunk of time because of that. Now, just to remind myself, Artie, yes, he's invalidated, so it'll be El Tonki. First driver to cross the line, then Aussie. Oh, and into the wall of champions. And that's an end plate gone. Crosses the line. A 22.5. What does Aussie do? He is... Wow, that's 3.3 seconds quicker from the Toro Rosso driver. Mega lap. Now it's just Artie and Reedy. What have they got? Can they string a lap together? Wait, Reedy is still in the pits? So he's not going to set a lap time at all. Coming into the hairpin, turn 10. Taken a lot better in comparison to El Tonki. Onto the long back straightaway. Now for the track's final challenge. He can't invalidate here. And he doesn't. Nice and gentle. He'll come up to the line. Don't think it's 15. It's 17. An Honest Cook. Out of fuel. So his qualifying is done and he's 16th. But there you go. We just have to wait for Honest to retire from the session, but Golden Gloves snatches it. Just before the wet weather came, a 1:09.044. Snatches pole position by 0.3 of a second to Big Donga in the Ferrari. And Lunacy, P3 in the Williams, further 7/10 behind. Have to remember that the top 6, all of them, are going to be starting on the soft compound tyre. And of course, Harass, a 5-second penalty, not 5 second, 5 grid place penalty, with contact with Reedy, I believe it was. So he'll be starting from 13th on the grid. That is a massive blow. But he is starting on the medium compound tyre, so he is able to run long. There you go. Golden Glove snatches pole with Big Donger in P2, Lunacy P3, Misty Griffin P4, Breno P5, Smoke Rust P6, Cypods P7, Harass in qualifying P8, he'll drop down to 13th, Toto P9, AC P10, Ken Tenma P11, Blocky Rex P12, Tall Coglu P13, James Cruz P14. I think he'll be pretty happy with that. That's probably his highest ever qualifying result for good old James. But here we go, clear skies, as Sidepod told me in the chat. A nice, clear, dry race here at Montreal. Oh, this is going to be good. Full grid, diverse range of drivers. And there's so many strategies you can do here. You can do the one stop here. And it doesn't have to involve the hards either. You can make the mediums work. Can make the mediums and softs work. But I believe the two stop is the ideal strategy. As the session timer counts down. As drivers will start the warm-up lap. First ever warm-up lap. Streamed for Tier 2 in the Pacific Series. What a momentous day. We get to show what these fellas can do. They might not have the talent that Tier 1 possesses, but by God do they have the spirit. And they will fight just as hard. They will fight tooth and nail for every position. As drivers are struggling to load into the session. Very odd. Just checking with the Discord. Gonna have to restart the lobby, it seems. Something has happened. Can I do anything? Yep, I can. Yeah, I can. I can go back to the main screen and everything. So something's happened to someone. Oh! Okay. Oh, how about that? We have drama before the race even starts. Must have had some sort of technical difficulty. But that's the order. So you will be able to catch it on stream, fans. That is the entire order there. And Sidepod and Harass have to start on the mediums. So how about that? See. Alright, so with the delayed start to the race, to those watching, I want you to put in predictions for who you think is going to win this Grand Prix. Because honestly, I don't know. I've got absolutely no idea. I know a few drivers here, but I don't know who's going to win. I know Breno's got really good racecraft. Superb racecraft, actually. He's a superb racer. Very angry side pod on his day is incredibly quick. Let's see. It seems we... Don't forget to invite me, fellas. Don't forget me. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to go mute for a minute, then I'll come back. Drama before the race even starts. I love it. Alrighty. So we're back. I better get into my spectator role. Alright. Hopefully we won't have the same problem. I hope. Yep, in my spectator role. Now that I'm back here, I better have a look at what assists are enabled in this particular championship. I have done commentary in many other leagues with certain restrictions. And it seems it's fairly lenient in this case. ABS is allowed to be on. Same with traction control, all the way up to full as well. And dynamic racing line. You can have an automatic transmission or any sort of gearbox really. And pit release assist is on. Okay. And of course automatic or manual ERS. Everyone's coming back. So, are we going to do a short quali again, or getting a custom order? Oh, this is also good. Builds up the tension to a race start. Let's get to sit and think what's going to happen next. Who isn't here? We've got all 19 drivers, so we should be all ready to go. So are we doing qualifying again? We must be. Must be. People are readying up. I mean, if we do quali again, that's very unfortunate for drivers like Golden Gloves who managed to put the car on pole. Oh no, custom good. Oh, good. I just noticed there was short qualifying on. Then that would have been a real mess. Oh well, first stream, niggles. Get them out of the way. Then we get all the good stuff. But the race should be good. It should be absolutely fantastic. Canada, it just has a knack of producing very good racing. Like I said before, there's quite a number of hot spots on the circuit that provide good overtaking opportunities and allow battles to happen. It really doesn't seem like that sort of circuit. You got chicanes everywhere. I mean, yeah, it just doesn't seem like a circuit that would allow good racing and good overtaking, but it does. long straights into heavy braking zones. It just works. I mean, we've got all this chaos pre-race, and we haven't even done lap 1, turn 1 yet. Oh my goodness me. Lap 1, turn 1 is going to be absolute chaos. Glitch starts do happen. They do happen. It's happened many times. But that's the helpfulness of the stream. Able to see where everyone finished in qualifying and see what tyres are on. And of course for harass. And the very angry Cypod having to start on the medium compound tyre. Everyone else in the 10 starting on the softs. Who knows what from 11th down to 20th, what are they going to do? Are they going to run long? Or are they going to hope for a safety car, which do appear more often now? But I've noticed in several races prior to this one that safety cars now come out less often and more virtual safety cars come out. I did a race at Singapore and there were like 7 or so virtual safety cars, and several of them would have warranted a normal safety car in real life conditions, but just have to wait and see. Oh, this is going to be good. Dry conditions, full grid, and a nice circuit to race on. What a first stream. The session counts down, and let's do this. Take 2 for the Canadian Grand Prix here at Montreal. This driver's now coming into the session. 9 people watching, and you're not watching the Tier 1 stream? Must be boring. This is where all the action's at. Let's see what these guys can do. Just waiting on Artie. Load into the session and we'll be good to go. 10 people on the stream. Oh my goodness me, people. It's Tier 1, it must be boring. Alrighty, take 2. Hopefully everyone loads into the session okay. And hopefully the top 10, including harass, go on the tyres that they qualified on. So the top 6 should start on the softs. Then Cypod in 7th will start on the mediums. Harass, who should be 8th, but has a 5 grid place penalty, for a severe collision with Reedy. Coming out of turn 5, the ending of sector 1. But here we go, session counts down. Let's do this, people, as we now begin the warm-up lap. Yes, here we go. Let's begin the warm-up lap and let's run through the grid once again and make sure everyone is on the right tyre. And it definitely seems that harass isn't. Okay, that's interesting. That is very interesting. I wonder what the stewards are going to do about that. So, Golden Glove starts on pole position after setting a 1:09 flat. Right before the rain came at about the midway point in qualifying. From pole position, Big Donga in the Ferrari will start P2, Lunacy P3, Mr. Griffin P4, Breno P5, Smokegrass P6, The very angry Sidepod in the other Ferrari. Starts P7 and on the mediums. Toto in P8. AC in P9. Ken P10. Blocky Rex P11. Tall Cogwheel in P12. Harass on the sauce when he shouldn't be. He should be on the medium tyres. Don't know what the stewards are going to do. It's Kimi in Italy all over again. James Cruz in probably his best qualifying ever, to my recollection, with a full grid, starts 14th. Aussie starts 15th. Honest Crook 16th. Artie 17th. El Tonki 18th. Reedy, after not setting a time throughout the entire session, starts 19th. And Candy Cane, after having an incident at the Wall of Champions, will start on in 20th place on the grid. Oh boy. As the drivers are now lining up back into their respective grid slots. Here we go. We've seen many famous races here. The first ever time it was run here back in 1978, it was won by the circuit's namesake. Then in 2011 we saw Jenson Button's fantastic drive. 5 stops I believe he made in that race. And somehow he ended up winning. As Smokegrass leaves the session. Hopefully he can come back as we have 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go here at Montreal. And it seems that Donga has got... they're very even off the line. Coming through turn 1 and 2. But everyone seems to get through quite nicely. Ooh, a bit of contact. Well, between Mercedes as well. Anyone fallen? No, everyone's gotten through incredibly well. I'm impressed. Oh, Blocky might have gone into the wall at turn 4. Did he lose an in-plate? Doesn't appear to have. Oh, and that's Alfa Romeo out on the grass. Tall Cogwheel, I believe it was. Go back up towards the leaders. The Smokegrass. That's the session. Hopefully he can come back. I can't invite him back. As a spectator, I can't invite drivers. And yeah, that's definitely an AI in control. You can tell by how the throttle's working. Very much AI behaviour. To switch it to positions change on the first lap. The top 5 stay as they are. So, Golden Gloves now coming towards the Wall of Champion chicane. He will lead the first lap of the Canadian Grand Prix with Big Donga right in behind. Lunacy in P3, Griffin P4 and Breno P5. Sidepod has made a position, Toto's made a position. Smokegrass, currently absent, has made up 2, lost 2 rather. Harass, a big winner, but a big question mark next to his name. He's made up 4 positions into P9. AC. I've got to learn how to pronounce your name. Currently P10. Oh, he had a small moment with Aussie in the Toro Rosso. Oh, and contact! And AC has been spun round. I can't believe it. Lap 2 is where we see the first incident. Onto the grass, missing end plate. And from what I saw, I think Aussie got a 5-second penalty because of the contact. Oh, and Lunacy and Donga are now fighting at the hairpin, coming onto the straightaway before the Wall of Champions chicane. Absolutely fantastic. Go a bit further back. You've got Harass all over the back of Toto, who should get this job done very easily. Coming into the chicane. Yeah, big question mark. But has made the most positions as Lunacy sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Oh, and Blocky having a moment at the chicane, awfully close to putting in the wall. Other honourable mentions, Hardy made up 5 positions, Reedy up 6, Candy Cane up 5, superb start from them, and AC. Into the pits, changed to the front wing and onto the medium tyres. Started on hard, so he was planning to go long. That's very, very unfortunate. Oh, sorry, no, onto the hards, off the mediums. Damn it, Codemasters, you tricked me. How dare you. Go to the tyres. seen the leaders are all punched out. Look at that. From first all the way down to 6th place. It is less than a second. Look at this train. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. Oh, and a missing end plate. For Golden Gloves, what on earth were you doing? He's now missing an end plate. Did Golden Gloves just shoot himself in the foot? DRS has been enabled, and he's now got probably a yellow front wing. I have to say, out of all of these drivers, Cypod is in a very good position. He doesn't need to attack as he's going to run long on the medium. He can just follow this train and try not to lose time and build a gap up to 7th. We've got battling further back. Sorry, no, it's Smokegrass's AI being overtaken. Anything further back? Will we not have a change of position? Not we won't. I don't know. Let's quickly go back up to the leaders. And you can see Donga is right up the back of Golden Gloves. The Wall of Champions takes it nicely. Golden Gloves doesn't seem to be too hampered with what's going on with his wing, and Ozzy makes a position on harass through the chicane. Very nicely done. As Big Donga, 3-second time penalty. They're going to play a massive part in this Grand Prix. It is so easy to do. Toto has done it as well. Oh, but you can see there from Golden Gloves, he just doesn't have the mid-corner speed, and DRS for a Big Donga around the outside. Job done for the Ferrari driver into turns 8 and 9. Now takes the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. But Golden Gloves will get DRS. What can Lunacy do? More downforce, he's better on the brakes and better mid-corner speed, a bit of contact between the two. Coming onto the straightaway. DRS wide open, and so does Golden Glove, so Lunacy won't be able to make a move here, but... Oh! And oh my goodness me! That could have been a massive accident! Big Donna just shutting the door on Golden Gloves, and both of them into the pits. Golden Gloves committed to the outside, and Donga using him against the wall. And Gloves just couldn't hold the line. They made contact, and Donga goes into the wall. Both drivers lose end plates. Reedy a 3-second time penalty. It's only lap 6 out of 35, and we already have this kind of action. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. Lunacy now leads the Grand Prix with Mr. Griffin in P2. Breno in behind in P3. As Cogwheel gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. And Sidepod will be very happy with this. Now up into P4, and he just has to stay within DRS range of Breno, I think, and just maintain the pace of the leading 3. If he can do that, he puts himself into a very good position. As Smokegrass has rejoined the session, good to see. But he's in 9th, and he's well down the order at the moment. Poor bugger. Something happened to him right at the start of the session. As Breno makes a move on Lunacy. Oh, hang on, Griffin and Breno made a move on Lunacy. At the Wall of Champions chicane, losing 2 positions. It just shows you how powerful the DRS is, particularly on that straightaway after turn 11. So unbelievably powerful. And that's why Sidepod needs to stay within this time. As Sector 3 yellow flags, that is James Cruz. You can tell from the minimap, he's just had a moment. Thing is though with James, he might have these moments, but he always finishes. Just a super trooper. As Lunacy right onto the back of Breno's gearbox, and it seems that Griffin is quite comfortable Just pulled away ever so slightly. Not a great deal, but he has pulled away. Now, this is where they claw back the time. Lunacy only on 6% ERS. He has used a lot. See that side pod? 68%. Oh, side pod, you should have got back onto the racing line there, buddy. You compromised that a lot. Both Breno and Misty, they're in their 20% in ERS. So side pod looking very good at the moment. As Toto and Smokegrass into the pits they go. Onto the medium tyre, same with Smokegrass. Back up to the leaders and Misty Griffin. As Golden Gloves, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Just pulling away ever so slightly, but then that gap gets eradicated as soon as they hit the straights. You can gain so much time on those straights. Look at Sidepod. In that 70% range, he looks good. He looks very good. Will he go for a move here? He's chucked that up into overtake mode. He's going to get DRS. He's going to get the job done easy. That's P3. Lunacy on 0%. Oh, and almost into the back of Sidepod. And very slowly goes into the pit lane just to make sure he doesn't get a time penalty. I want to have a look at the battles in the midfield, but I want to keep my eyes on this. It's fantastic. The Lunacy in the pits. Harass in the pits. Reedy in the pits. Yeah, it's going to be interesting with Harass. Very interesting. Toto, a 3-second time penalty. As Breno is right up the back of Misty. What can he do? He can't do anything. He can't find the room to make an overtake. Oh, almost into the back of him. Goes Breno. Not leaving anything to chance. I hope these lap cars ghost. They're having to deal with lap cars. James Cruz. Seems that Griffin has... Oh, okay. So Griffin and Breno into the pits simultaneously. So they're on the same strategy. So Sidepod now leads the Grand Prix and on the medium tyre as Blocky Rex has a 3-second time penalty. So in this clean air, he just needs to set consistently fast lap times. If he can do that, he puts himself into a very good position. Blocky Rex puts himself into P2. Or he comes up first. So Misty into P4, 10 P5. Breno right in behind in P6. Golden Gloves pulls in behind Aussie after having his incident with Big Dongo and the other Ferrari. Honest Crook, right in behind. Look at the train on the mini-map. Oh my goodness me. Oh, here we go. Big Dongo, Harass and El Tonki. Oh, and a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings. Harass is going to have a look down the inside into turn 8. I think he'll get this easily, nicely done. Well negotiated between the two drivers. Absolutely no contact. He's leaving a little bit. Oh, and Donga sends it! Oh my goodness me! Thank goodness he ghosted. He outbraked himself massively. Almost causing a massive incident. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's not going to be 3 wide into the wall of champions. That is a death sentence if you do that. Oh, they sort themselves out nicely. And Cogwheel, he might smell an opportunity to gain a couple of places here. Honest Crook getting a horrible run because of the compromised line. Oh, but Lunacy! Where did you come from? Just sent it down the inside. And 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Oh dear me. This is where it starts. This is where the flooding of penalties begins. Now have a fight for P6. Ken and Aussie, Toro Rosso and Rebel. Oh, a little bit of contact. Nothing too harmful. Golden Gloves might smell an opportunity here into turn 10. No, you're staying behind. Just take the hairpin nice and... Oh, a little bit of contact though. James Cruz a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I reckon Golden Gloves will get this here. Oh, here we go. They're going to be side by side at the Wall of Champions. And Ken very wisely just backs off, gives him the position. He is on a different strategy, so he doesn't need to worry too much. And back up to what is provisionally the lead of the Grand Prix. Renault and Misty Griffin. Gap has opened up to almost 2 seconds between the two, and that's because Breno's teammate is holding him up massively on those hard compound tyres, I think. Oh, and contact! And half spun, oh, not even half spun, maybe quarter spun his teammate. But that was probably for the best, to be honest, for the team. Artie's very upset, but if you think in context for the team, Artie should have let Breno pass ages ago. He's on 11 lap old cars. Thinking about the Drivers' Championship when he should be thinking, oh! And Aussie sends it down the inside. A nice move from the Toro Rosso. But such a superb run through the chicane. They're going to be side by side, and Golden Gloves might get involved here. Might ride on board with him. This will be a good view. Artie's just having a slight straight line advantage. Aussie having to cut the corner and getting a 3-second time penalty in the process. Will Golden Gloves follow Aussie through into turn 1? I think he will. Very good move. Oh, but Artie, he's not giving up. He's in that... Oh, and a bit of contact. I was going to say he's in that move where he doesn't want to give up any sort of position. No, Golden Gloves gets the job done. Very smart move from Golden Gloves. Just follow Aussie through, and that's exactly what he did. Artie fought back, and there was a small amount of contact. And Golden Gloves gets the position. And this may be for position as well. Golden Gloves on 7-lap-old mediums compared to Aussie on 3-lap-old mediums. But there's not a great deal of tyre wear on this circuit, so I don't think there'll be a great pace difference between the two. We'll wait and see. DRS zone coming up, wide open. See there from Aussie, he gets a really good run out of the hairpin, and that's a really good thing because of how vulnerable you are on this straight into the chicane. You want to get a really good run, but Aussie gets a horrendous run through the chicane. Golden Gloves, he might get a position here down the inside into 1. Oh, and a bit of contact. We've seen plenty of that today as El Tonki goes into the pits. And there's an incident, excuse me, for just a moment. It's Ken. Into the Wall of Champions. It doesn't appear to be any damage, only just caught the yellow flags. Hasn't caused a safety car or anything. Just allows the racing to continue. Big donger. He's all over the back of this Haas of Honest Crook. Coming into the next DRS zone leading into turn 8. But Honest Crook gets DRS as well. He's just close enough to Smokegrass. Currently in a point scoring position, Smokegrass, after not being here for the first few laps. He'll be looking to salvage every point he can. Oh, and Honest Crook goes deep. But it gets a half-decent run out of the corner. As Blocky now comes into the pits and onto the hards. Oh, Blocky, okay. I mean, it's his choice, but I think the two-stop would have been a better strategy, I think. Either stretch the mediums out to soft or do 2 soft stints. Canada has one of the shortest pit lanes in Formula 1. Don't lose a great deal of time. Time lost you generally gain back with the sheer pace of the soft tyre. At the moment, our race leader, the very angry side pod. He looks good at the moment. Seems he's got plenty of fuel, he's got plenty of ERS to play with, he can set some really good times at the moment. And he's maintained a 7-second gap to Blocky Rex throughout that entire stint, so is he coming in? Yes, he is. Nice and on the marks. So what will Ferrari do? What is Ferrari's grande strategia? That's not hard, is it? Oh, cycle. Oh dear. Okay. I don't think that's the strategy, fellas. I mean, he wants to run long. It's his call, but I don't know. Mediums to hards, it's just not a quick strategy. It's definitely a conservative one. It's one that will get you to the finish. And you can push on these hards. Well, you have to, really. James Cruz, a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. Oh, it's James, it has to be. That's causing the yellow flags. It is. It's letting everyone by. Very good, James. Oh, he's missing a front wing as well. Half a front wing. So we might have a battle for P3. Aussie and Golden Gloves. Golden Gloves coming back from that incident he had with Big Donga. Only P4. As Sidepod makes a position. Excuse me, on harass. So Sidepod doesn't have to worry at all about Tyler because they are going to make it. So he can push as hard as he pleases on these tyres, and he's got fuel and he's got ERS to play with. For those guys at the top of the leaderboard, they are going to be electric come the end of the race. With low fuel on soft tyres, it's going to be a mammoth task for Sidepod to hold them off. He does have the skill, but does he have the carb speed? Does he have the pace on those tyres? There's a lot of racing to go in this Canadian Grand Prix. In fact, we're just about to cross the halfway mark. I'm going to try this at Rio. I don't know. Actually, Rio. Oh my god. He's going to have to walk me through how to pronounce his name properly. As Ken gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. As Blocky, he's going to have a move down the inside. Oh, and contact! I don't think Hardy will be too pleased with that. Honest Cook, a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh dear. Massive kick in the gut for him. As we cross the halfway mark, I would like to see the position changes. And oh my goodness, have we got some people who've moved up the board. The biggest winner by far is Aussie. Up 12 positions from 15th to 3rd. It's been a superb drive from the Toro Rosso driver. Imagine what kind of position he could have been in if he thrown the lap together in qualifying. Absolutely superb. Sidepod up 2 positions. Harass up 7. 13th to 6. Hardy up 8. Candy Cane, after crashing at the wall of champions, he's got a missing end plate as well. Up 7. Reedy up 5. Biggest losers. AC after that incident on lap 1. Currently 19th. There's 10 positions. And that is James. Yes. 10-3. Ken has lost 8. Big Donga lost 9 after having that incident with Golden Gloves, who respectively has lost 3 positions. Still in a race-winning position though. Still there or thereabouts, as Renault, I believe, has had a moment. Or it might have been a Haas has had a moment at the Wall of Champions. He's noticed the yellow flags in Sector 3. And that's James causing those yellow flags as Candy Cane gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Oh my goodness me. Go back onto the tyres. Into the tyres, that way. Another thing I've got to keep my eye on is the delta between side pod and Golden Gloves. How much does it shrink? I'll go to interval to leader. Side pod currently 9.5 seconds behind Griffin in first place. So he's got a pit stop and I'd say maybe 7 seconds in hand. It's a short pit lane here at Canada because you ignore the chicane and you ignore turns 1 and 2 basically. You gain a lot of time. Well, pretty much the beginning of turn 2. As Aussie is now right within Brenner's DRS range. Lunacy, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. They're going to play a massive factor in this. Oh, I wish I had a co-commentator and asked them who's got what penalties. I don't want to look away from the accident. Breno, he gets a good exit out of the hairpin. He's just able to pull away 1 or 2 tenths. Absolutely vital 1 or 2 tenths. Try and stop Aussie from overtaking him through the World Champions. Just hovering around that 7/10 of a second gap between these two. And they still have a stop remaining, so interesting to see what happens next. And just to notify you on the delta between Very Angry Side Pod and Golden Gloves, the gap has come down. It was about 2.3 seconds. It's now under 1.5. So Side Pod, he's in that groove at the moment. He looks good. I may have underestimated how quick he is on the hard as Golden Gloves has a moment at the chicane and loses 4th place in the process on those 15 lap old. Oh, and into the wall as well, I think. It might have been just lag, but that definitely looked like he was going to go into the wall. Sector 1 yellow flags exchange. He'll still finish this race. See what Aussie can do. Coming into turn 1, Breno incredibly vulnerable and goes defensive, but if Aussie can hold it around the outside, and he does, he has a chance at turn 2. Gets a good run there, side by side, into turn 3. Give me a better shot, Codemasters, come on. Still side by side, a bit of contact. Breno has the inside into turn 4. They're still side by side through turn 5. Will Breno send it up the inside into 6? Yes, he will. He is not done yet. Into the DRS zone. Who gets DRS? It's Breno. Breno will get DRS. Opens it up. Shoves it into overtake mode. He's going to have a look down the inside into turn 8. What a brilliant exchange between these two. And Aussie, he won't be done. He won't be done at all. As James Cruz gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, Aussie will get DRS coming onto this straight. If he can get a good run out of the hairpin, that's a bonus, but it seems that Breno has got a superior run. Gap has opened up to half a second. Oh, but Aussie is running low on ERS. Breno has still got some in his back pocket that he can play with. He won't make a move. He is not close enough. And Misty comes in, and Aussie follows. So Aussie's going to try the undercut on Breno. Will Breno respond? I think he might. Side Pod gets his first penalty, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I don't think he'll be too stressed about that. So what's the gap between these two? Misty can make it to the end. Misty comes out of the pits. Have to change it to leader. All side by side with Mercedes. He gets out. Yeah, right. So the gap, 7 seconds. It's 7 seconds between the two. I thought it would have been about 7. Very Angry Side Pod 6 seconds behind the leader. Misty 13 seconds. Basic math. Going back to interval onto the tyre. Oh, we're going to have such a good battle for the end of this race as Candy Cane and Reedy come into the pits. make their final stops. And the guys back in order, see what's what. Battle for 12th between Honest Crook and El Tonki. It isn't a point scoring position, I think. In this league, it's only top 10 score points. But still, they're fighting for pride and bragging rights. Way more important than points. As Harass gets overtaken by Griffin at the wall of champion chicane and gets a 3-second time penalty in the process. Does Harass. Breno comes in. Okay, and Aussie's taking him massively. Oh wait, scratch that. This is going to be closer than I thought it was. I thought the undercut was going to work in Aussie's favour. It has, but not to the effect that I thought it would. Breno is still within a second of Aussie. This fight is not done. You've got, when they cross the line, 11 laps to go. You've got a battle for the lead and the battle for the final podium position. Of course, Harass. Well, Blocky can make it to the end. So he's technically, provisionally, third place as soon as his teammate comes in. And I imagine he'll come in this lap and try and not hold up his teammate. His teammate desperately needs to get a move on. See what he does. Blocky, he'll get DRS. He'll weave to the inside. What will Harass do? Do another lap. Interesting. Is he thinking of stretching the mediums to the end of the Grand Prix? We'll have to wait and see. So, with 11 laps to go, gap between the leaders has shrunken. Gap now under 3 seconds. It's actually shrunken massively. In just this sector alone, it just shows you how much pace those mediums have in comparison to the hards. Sidepod, he needs to make that Ferrari the widest Ferrari anyone has ever seen to try and hold off the charging Renault as Aussie makes a position on Harass. Renault is going to get involved in this as well. He's within the toe of Harass. Deep into the braking zone and contact! And contact! Oh dear! That's Breno's chances of a podium gone. I mean, you never know. There's still plenty of racing left. As someone spins to Sector 3, it's a Red Bull. It's El Tonki. He's facing the wrong way. He's got to get that car pointing the right way. Otherwise, that's a disqualification for sure. He's still driving the wrong way down the circuit. And the game will disqualify him if he's not careful. And he's out of there. Very good to see as Big Donga now comes into the pits for his final stop. Oh, this is not looking good for the very angry Sidepod. Gap is now almost under a second between these two. Oh, this is going to be a very difficult drive for Sidepod. I don't know how he's going to pull it off. Let's see what he can do. Misty Griffin is now right behind. Very angry Sidepod. Less than half a second. DRS wide open. Overtake mode engaged. Same with Sidepod. He's not going to give this up easily. He's going to have a look around the outside. If he can hold the line, he'll have the inside into turn 14. And he gets the position and the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. Is that it for Sidepod? I think that was his one and only chance of holding on to the lead. He just will not have the speed to keep up and try and overtake Mr. Griffin on those superior tyres in both grip and wear. He just has to rely on penalties, which are going to play a part. The Sidepod, my memory serves me correctly, has got 3 seconds next to his name. Not a great deal is happening. I'm going to quickly switch it to Race Director just to see what Griffin's got. Oh, the dude is a bot. Not a single warning. That is amazing. At Canada. Sidepod is definitely not taking the lead then, as Candy Cane with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He's been absolutely superb. No warnings, no corner cuts, no nothing. Sidepod, he's got 3 seconds. So the best he can hope for now is second place. Back in the corner, Breno and Blocky now fighting. We've got sector 3 yellows. It's James Cruz, I believe, is slowing up to let people pass. Breno doing DRS range onto this straight. It isn't a particularly long one. It gets a good run out of turn 7 into turn 8. Blocky weaving, oh dear. Oh, bit of history on these two. These two have battled in the past. And it hasn't come out well for either driver. Oh my goodness. Blocky goes onto the grass and almost goes into Breno. Very lucky that Blocky managed to retain control of the car. Just avoid the accident. Awfully lucky. So, Golden Gloves on Harass. I think Harass is going to try and stretch this to the end. And Golden Gloves. Oh no, he goes in. So he'll be on the softs. Aussie gets 3 seconds. Cogwheel gets 3 seconds. Lunacy moves himself into 7. Smoke Rush, after missing out probably the first quarter of the Grand Prix, comes back and he's in 8th place. I think he'll be pretty happy with that with the earlier technical difficulties. Gonga, it seems like he's going to score points in this race, currently 9th. He'll be happy with points. He'll be not happy with his finishing position after what happened on the straightaway entering the Wall of Champions, that incident he had with Golden Gloves. I 100% guarantee you there's going to be a steward's inquiry into that. Let's see here. So, I'm going to quickly look at Race Director again. So, Sidepod got 3 seconds, I know that. 1, 2, 3 penalties for Aussie. So, he's got 9 seconds. Breno, just a 2 warning. So, he's got no penalties. He's looking good. Just to reiterate, with Sidepod, just the 1 penalty, but he's 1 warning away from another. Blocking, got a penalty. He's got 3, so he's got 9 seconds. So, Breno currently none. He's in a good place to get 3rd, which would be a superb result for the McLaren team. And Aussie is now right up the back of Sidepod. I'm reckoning he's going to make a move coming onto the straightaway after the hairpin. Sidepod, he just doesn't have the mechanical grip. Can't achieve the mid-corner speed that the medium runners can. 100% Sidepod is going to defend this. Aussie, he's going to have to look to the outside. He's not going to look to the inside. Oh, it was close, but good racing between the two. But Sidepod gets a horrible run. He's going to have to try and hold it around the outside at turn 1 to try and keep the position. And he does so successfully. Contact between the two. But Aussie, he'll get the better run out of the corner. But all that Sidepod needs to do is just stay in behind him. He's got 9 seconds. Sidepod has only got 3. Even better for Breno. He's got none. This will be the only battle on circuit. You can see from the mini-map. It's all over the shot. They're all in their own little worlds. And across the line will be 4 laps to go of what has been a superb Canadian Grand Prix. It seems the battle for first has already been won. But the other two podium positions are very much up for grabs. Coming through the World Champion chicane. Toto, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And here's another thing. 32 laps in, not a single retirement. That is superb to see. As Lunacy loses a position, he must have made a mistake. He had quite a comfortable gap back to Smokegrass. He must have made a mistake. At least we have a battle to watch before Breno climbs to his back. And that's James Cruz once again in Sector 2. Just can tell from the mini-map. We do have a battle for P7 and a few valuable points. ERS wide open. You can see from Lunacy he's got absolutely no ERS. I have a feeling he uses autumn, which is why it dumps all of his ERS. He's in overtake mode. He has no reason to be. You use overtake mode on the straights, not throughout the corners. It gives you next to no benefit. And you're going to see here, you'll get DRS, but you'll end up having absolutely no ERS to play with. To the outside, Smokegrass goes deep, Lunacy gets a slightly better run, and I only mean slightly. As Harass gets 9th place. Lunacy, a 3-second time penalty. I want to keep watching this, but I feel as if I need to watch about a P3 now. Breno, side pod. He's still got some ERS to play with, but Breno, he's got a lot to play with. Reedy, a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Side pod. Absolutely defenseless. Breno has got more ERS, he's got DRS. Side pod, absolutely helpless. So he's definitely not getting second at this stage. He's still in with a chance to get third place, however. If he can not get any more penalties, he'll get a podium. 3 laps to go. Go back to this. Even up 24. We have a battle for the final point scoring position, however. Big Donga and Harass. I think that Big Donga was thinking about it. Oh, and he's missing an end plate. So he has that to deal with as well. And you can see it there. A massive amount of understeer corner entry. And the main corner speed is just atrocious as well. And he loses a bucket load of time because of it. As I say that, Blocky Rex, Golden Gloves. Blocky's missing a front wing. So he's lost another position to Golden Gloves. He'll finish this race then. But what a race from this man. Mr. Griffin. Absolutely superb. No warnings. Absolutely. Oh! Golden Gloves has been disqualified. Too many warnings. He will not score points. I can't believe it. And Cogwheel as well. Disqualified from the session. Too many warnings. Some last lap chaos. Golden Gloves was in such a good place to score points. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So we'll have 18 finishes. I was so hoping for everyone to finish. That would have been fantastic. But what a drive from Mr. Griffin. What a day for Renault. And what a day for the Pacific Series Tier 2 Championship as he wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Aussie will cross the line second, but Breno will take it and Cypod will get third. Oh, I'm so pleased to see that. Aussie fourth. Blocky will come home fifth at the moment. Drops down to sixth. Smokegrass, a brilliant recovery. Lunacy gets sixth. Harass gets sixth, but that's going to be a massive question mark on that. 100%. Big Donga gets ninth. And it seems that Ardi will get 10th place. No, he gets 9th place because of the penalties. And Candy Cane, starting from dead last, will finish 11th. Yes, he will. 9 positions gained, a superb recovery. Reedy will come home 12th. And Ken, in the Red Bull, 13th. What a Grand Prix. What a way to start off displaying the championship to you fellas on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, your top 3 here at Canada. What a race. That's how you race. But what a drive from Griffin. No warnings. No warnings. Superb. Oh. Griffin wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Breno P2 was a great drive from him. Sidepod making the hards work and getting P3 in the end. Aussie in 4th place. 12 penalties. Ah, very unfortunate. Smokegrass, after missing out the start of the race, finishes 5th. That is a superb recovery. Harass 6th, Lunacy 7th, Blocky Rex 8th, Hardy 9th, and to round out the points, Big Donga in 10th. Just to make sure I get all of the stuff. Oh my god. What a race. What a Grand Prix. Action, chaos, and drama. All of just a beautiful concoction to develop fantastic racing like this. But what a way to start off streaming the Tier 2 series, the Pacific Series in Spec Esports. If you liked what you've seen, please subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the brilliant content that you're about to witness in the coming few weeks. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Wow. Oh, what a race. And I think these fellas follow the proper Formula 1 calendar. So I believe the next race is at Circuit Paul Ricard, Le Castellet, France, and that's going to be a very interesting show. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. I've been the Smeg, and good night.